This video will show you how to put back together or reassemble the Maytag Neptune or Atlantis style dryers. Safety first, so always disconnect power before servicing any electrical appliance. And do remember that the internal edges of these machines are sharp once you've had them apart, so be careful not to get cut. They can hurt you.
Okay, once you finish making repairs necessary on your Maytag dryer and it's time to put it back together, in case you need it, here's how you put this dryer back together for the Maytag Atlantis and Neptune style dryers. First thing you're going to do is get the drum. I always like to put the drum back in the same way it came out. You can tell where the belt mark was on the drum. It goes towards the back because the belt's offset to the back of the dryer. And we're going to go ahead and put the drum and the belt band together. Put the belt all the way around it. And on the belt, the ribbed side goes towards the drum and touches the drum. So make sure the grooves are touching the drum. Use the belt to kind of lift it and put it in place. And then just set it down on top of the two drum supports in the back, on the back of the bulkhead. Once you've got it in place, position the belt so it's straight. Make sure everything's in place. Set it down, the belt down. Make sure this felt didn't get caught underneath the lip of the drum. It should be on top of it like that. And you're good. Now, to install the belt, you probably saw one of my other videos, but I'll cut to it and show you the inside view right now so you see how that it loops through. Once you're through watching that part, then I'll cut back to here. From here you can better see our angle of what's happening with the motor pulley and the tensioner when installing or removing the belt. The tensioner, to release tension, you need to push it or pull it towards the pulley of the motor like that. That releases the tension. Now, to install the belt, you put the back of the belt loop through there, and then the ribs go on the motor pulley. Okay, and of course you're going to have the drum inside here, so to get it to fit, you'll have to pull that tensioner towards the motor like that, and that way the drum will fit, the belt will fit through there, and that'll put the tension on the belt. To release the belt or remove it, you pull that tensioner further towards the motor to take the tension off of the drum and the belt, and then slip the belt off of the pulley and it'll come right off. But that's how it gets threaded through there, how it comes on and off. You can't see it with the drum and everything put together, so I wanted to show you like this how that belt works on that tensioner. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So hopefully you saw that other part. So now what I'm going to do is carefully stick my arm through there and run the belt around the tensioner pulley, loop it, and then put the ribbed part of the belt around the pulley of the motor while holding the tension on the tensioner, and got it in place. Now I ease the tension onto the belt and it's on there tight now. So now the belt is on. I want to make sure, turn this, I can see the pulley, the blower spinning. Give it one time all the way around, and I'm being very careful, making sure that none of these sharp edges cut myself, especially this one here when I was sticking my arm through. Sticking your arm through there, you want to make sure this one doesn't cut you real bad. Okay, now that the belt and the drum are on, the next step is to grab a hold of the front bulkhead. Basically what I'm going to do is the bottom edge here goes underneath the lip of the drum, and then this is on top of the lip of the drum all the way around. Set it in place. Okay, and you're going to have to lift the drum a little bit, get everything to line up. That pretty well got it in one shot there. You can see where all the bolt holes are, and these little clips the notch that's notched down on the bulkhead. To keep everything from moving around, get them aligned. Okay. Go ahead and put one through right here to hold this side in place with the screws that we took out earlier. You don't want to put the top one in place because it has to have that bracket on it, so I'm using the one just below these clips. That'll help hold everything together. Go ahead and put the second one, the small one here that holds this two pieces of the bulkhead together. Go ahead and put it on. Okay, now I want to do the same on the other side. Making sure that the drum is not folding that felt underneath it. Got to fix that because it was. Got it straight. Make sure there's no felt folded under. Okay. Go ahead and align that up. We'll put a long screw there. And a short screw that actually holds these two goes on down here on this side. Now that those are in, we'll want to do the other screw for the bottom on each side of the bulkhead. Make sure it goes into the screw on the panel, into the screw hole that is. Get it tightened up. Got all three tightened on this side. Back to the other side over here. Third one in here. Make sure all three are tight. Make sure the drum spins freely, not binding. So everything's lined up now. The next step will be to close that top panel down. Okay, now when we close this top panel, you don't just slam it closed. There's a plastic piece here that's got little prongs that line up on the slots on both sides. This one's right here already. Make sure they go into the slots. You want to do that gently so we don't damage those plastic pieces. And all that's left now for this part is to hook in. I know I'm probably kind of in the way here, but it's the best I can do here. Okay, you want to hook. There's a slot on the bottom side of this. Put that hook in there, and then this slotted part, rectangular shape here, will go over this clip. So put it in there, set it in place, and then the screw back where it came from. Tighten it down. Okay, and now the other one that hooks that way. I'm going to do the same thing. Put it in the slot, hook it, make sure that clip goes through the rectangle part, put the screw in, back where it came from, And again, tighten it down. Very simple. Like I said, the bottom there is where those wires were. It was hanging over like that. Well, that'll pinch the wire, so I just tucked it back in there is all I did. Here's the other front panel piece. On the bottom, there are two slots. One here, one here. Those slots go on the bottom clips or hinges. Through there. Okay, it pretty well self-aligns, but then you just want to gently push both top pieces forward, guide them into place, and they should clip in place. Give it a bump if you have to. There it is. Okay, nothing to it. Now that that's in place, of course there's 4 screws, 2 with the plastic pieces that go on the side over here, and then the hinge pieces that go over here for the door. What you do want to make sure of is the flat surface goes against the flat of the dryer, and the pointy triangle end goes towards the front of the machine. So just like that. Okay, if you over tighten those, you'll crack this plastic piece. So you want to make sure to snug it, but don't over tighten it to where you're actually damaging. Okay, after you got those other 2 installed on the other side, to do these you have to put the door on first, the door hinges, and then put the screws in that hold it on. So I've got the screws handy right here. I'm going to hold the door. I'm going to put these hinges straight. These little prongs just go into the little sides right there, and then it just sits down. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm just going to align those and those. Okay, very simple. It's in place. They're all lined up. Put a screw in there, tighten it up. Do the bottom one. Alright, once those are both snug, that's the end of it. Door should close up no problem.